left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
What up, YouTube? We're back. We're here. How's it going? It's an episode. It's an issue. It's a live episode of Two Fat Guys Pull Us, 173 to be exact. And thank you to everyone who was watching us live and who was watching us as a past episode. We much appreciate it. And that's right, we are live finally. We are back. The duo is back. And yep, we're glad to be here. For me, it was an okay week. There was probably 2 books for me that kind of stood out. But other than that, it was kind of meh. But I know you've got one that's just like.
Well, see, what I was gonna say was, I thought it was a pretty good week.
Okay.
But the thing is, you're not reading enough indie comics.
Yeah, I know, but I just money anyway. But I picked up a couple indies that I liked. I mean, there were some ones that I picked up I liked.
I mean, one of them doesn't count, even though it's great.
Say what?
One of them doesn't count, even though it's great.
Well, yeah. Anyway, let's get down to some business, and then we'll talk about this week's comics. As always, we got to talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. That is the shop that me and Nate frequent. That is the shop where we get our comics, and we would love for you to go over to Collected Comics and Games if you're in the DFW area and check out their 3 locations, one in Hearst, one in Fort Worth, and one in Irving. It's a great shop. Brent and Ron do a great job of curating really cool shit in their store. I mean, they got some amazing stuff. They got new comics, back issues, manga, omnibuses, trades, dice, action figures, models, plushies. They've got everything. So make sure to check out Collected Comics and Games. And if you're not in the DFW area, I would love for you to go over to their website, which is staycollected.com. It's a great little new website where you can get all those things and trade and exclusives, cover variants, all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure to head on over to staycollected.com if you're not in the DFW area. Also, we got to talk about our show's milestone giveaway. That's right, when we hit 1,250 subscribers, we're giving away this bad boy, an Uncanny X-Men number 1, a 9.8 CGC grade signed by Jim Chung. It's a great little issue here. We're giving this away when we hit 1,250 subscribers, so make sure to hit that sub button if you are not already subbed to the channel. And when we hit 2,000, we're giving away this signed Donny Cates Thor number 1 Nick Klein sketch variant 9.8 grade signed by the one and only Donny Cates. You're going to want to hit that sub button if you want to win this slab. All right, we're getting right into it. Chat, what up? Patty says, hope everyone had a great week. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Lord says, Transformers for me, though the art in Ain't No Grave was solid. I agree with that. Calvin, what up? What up, Joe? Ain't No Grave is my pick of the week. Gotcha, Joe. Patty with the $6.99 donation. I got nothing to say but take my money. Thank you, Patty. We do appreciate the super chat. Nate has a new background. Did you sell all your comics?
No, did not sell all my comics. This is the new apartment. This is why I've been absent. I'm finally here. This is the only time you're going to see this room. This is shoved in the corner of my living room while I get everything set up. Next week will be in my bedroom. Won't see the bed though. Tired of y'all seeing the bed. But there will be a nice background. I'm not sure.
Bookshelf with all the books and stuff like that.
No, the books are way down there.
Oh, okay.
And I have my dining room is not a dining room; it's a library.
It's a library. Yeah, that's respectable. I totally get
I
that.
don't
That's
need
awesome.
I don't need a table. We'll eat on the couch.
Just eat in the library. All right. Well, let's get to it. Let's just jump right into this week, and we're gonna kick off with a book that I didn't mention because I didn't know. I just didn't know, and you kind of didn't know either. So, first up is a Boom book called Crocodile Black from Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yes, I misunderstood what you're saying. I do have that copy.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's on the.
Yeah. So I'm dumb. Boom number 1, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Like that's a match made in heaven. So obviously you know that I love this. Very close to my pick of the week. It's weird.
Weird.
Not in a bad way, but like it's like, oh, what the fuck are we gonna do here?
Mm-hmm.
It is set right smack dab in the middle of COVID, and our main character is like this teenage kid who it turns out he's got a crippling obsessive compulsive issue where he needs to be monitored. Like
oh wow.
He has to check in with his parents. He has to have a like a kid's timer on his phone so that he doesn't use the internet too much.
Oh shit.
He's not allowed to watch TV by himself. It's like his sister throws him a bone. His older sister says, "Hey, why don't you watch a movie with me tonight? It won't count as your stuff because it's on my TV." And it's, real kind of assholey, just like just grumpy about everything. And he has a job as a grocery delivery person. And he's talking to his therapist while he's doing this job, and is like, "How's your job going?" He's, "Oh, I love it because I get to wear this mask and I get to be out in public all day and people know who the fuck I am, but most people are stupid not wearing their masks, so I get to see them, but they don't know me." And the therapist's like, no, that sounds like escapist stuff. That's the thing you need to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to drop off groceries, and the door's open. He walks in and there's a dead guy sitting in a chair.
Oh, is the dead guy?
Well, we get to see this scene where they're like two like gangster mafia kind of guys, like looks like they're guarding a door and waiting, and they're kind of jawing at each other, and then the doorbell rings and one guy goes to open the door and he goes, "Oh shit," and then he takes a bullet between his eyes and his brains explode out of his head and a little eyeball goes beep, beep, beep.
Cool.
And then the other guy tries to shoot. He gets shot in the shoulder. He's like, "Oh shit, it's you." "No, man, no, don't do it." And then you see these big black crocodile boots slam his head.
Not like this. Yeah.
And then we go back to the old man that's dead, and guess what he's wearing?
Crocodile boots.
Black crocodile boots. And so this kid doesn't call the cops or do anything, and he goes back home and he's doing his thing, and he's supposed to eat dinner with his family, and then his dad finally comes out, and his dad's just like on his ass, like making fun of him. He's like, "Oh, are you doodling in your journal for your therapist?" And like really fucking hounding on him, and he just leaves. And we see a scene of the police officers at the scene of that crime that we saw earlier with the mafia guys.
Right.
And they're like, "Is this the guy? Like, is this the one?" And they see, because they see the boot prints, and they see what's happening. And then the last panel is the kid in his room taking off the bloody. So I think this kid would just have fucking break.
Jeez.
Is doing his ultimate escapism and is now being known as the crocodile. So pretty wild stuff.
Okay.
The story is like, I don't know. It's I gave you the snippet, but it's really interesting. The way that it was paced, the way that it was laid out was really good. I wasn't a massive fan of the art. Not that it was bad. It just it didn't quite fit for me personally. However, it flowed really well. Like the layout, the panels, the lettering, very easy to read, very easy to follow. So overall, I gave it like 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really almost my pick of the week.
There's a lot of books this week that like had 2 of the 3 aspects of a book that made it great, and I feel like that was, if there was a theme for this week, I feel like that would be it, in my opinion. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Well, cool. That's awesome. What up, Desai?
Who said it? Barlord said it. He snagged the Virgin because it's a Sorrentino. If you ever want to do like a weird story, kind of wacky thing, or scary horror, putting Sorrentino on the cover art is definitely.
Joe says Crocodile Black is really good. Was hesitant because 2020 sucked over. Other than my son being born, LOL. But this story looks like they'll talk about mental health due to the pandemic. Right on. Well, only up from there. I don't know. We'll see. All right, back into the show, into the main, what we actually did slate, and we've got first up, Ain't No Grave, issue number 1 from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. This is the last thing I read before even the show started. I thought the art was really good. Overall, I give the book itself an A-. I enjoyed the book. I think the story is pretty cool. It's intriguing for sure. I really didn't have any complaints about it. I just think we're definitely setting things up. The hook I feel like was enough to get me to go, I'm gonna go check out issue 2 for sure. I didn't know what to expect. I saw this on your pool and I was like, well, shit, I gotta get it because it's fucking Scotty Young and Jorge.
That team like that.
Yeah,
that Middle West
exactly.
And the Me You Love in the Dark.
I will say the artwork was phenomenal. Some of the spreads. I like that this issue was kind of like a mixture of like a no words issue and then just enough dialogue to where it didn't, because there were books this week where there was just the book was so densely populated with, I felt like, unnecessary dialogue and or words. And I know that sounds so cringy. We're reading comics, like we're reading, right?
Too many fucking words here.
Well, I'm just saying, like in certain certain aspects it makes sense, and in others it just feels like the writer just couldn't pick what they wanted to put down, so they put everything down. Like there was no actual editing. And in this, I felt like there was a nice balance between letting the artwork speak for itself and the words speak for itself. It's not my pick of the week, but it's pretty damn close. It was fun. I liked it.
So I need to find. I think I have my
your review.
But before I look that up, one thing I want to say is, like, do you agree or disagree with me when I told you about the character design? Because
the character design just being kind of like overly baggy with a bunch of buckles and zippers.
Her character design is so bad it was like pulling.
Well, I've got to.
Stupid looking.
Well, I have to assume it has something to do with the character. I'm willing to bet that because we're wearing such baggy clothes is because we have a shit ton of weapons, or there's some kind of like science fiction-esque bit to the amount of why, so that's my guess. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up. And then the guy that was gating the doorway to hell, or
right,
whatever that is,
the afterlife.
He was just a mound of potatoes. I guess clothes draped over him with like hay on him. Like
it was hard to figure out what we were looking at for sure. Yeah, there were definitely aspects of that in this book. But I'm gonna take it more of a creative choice, and there to be some form of purpose. But I do understand what you're saying.
I need to not be so critical because it is Corona, and I do respect and enjoy his work a lot. So
yeah, I thought it was good. I'm definitely going for
more like tugging at the heartstrings than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it had everything, right? Like I felt like the book had every aspect of something that you could find a little bit of something here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why the book did it so well of establishing itself. I think that's why I like it, because like there wasn't just like one specific theme. Like there was a bunch of different plot points, and it was spread out so well that I'm gonna go pick up issue 2. I'm not definitively saying I'm picking it's gonna be on my pool, but I am definitely picking up issue 2.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick up issue 2.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I got kicked out of the stream. What? Uh-oh. That's weird. I didn't do anything. All right, next up we have the Deviant, issue number 5.
Okay.
Independence is basically your, like, I've got 2 others and then I'm out.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say, the mic in a weird place. I cannot see around. Okay. I will say, this is the weakest issue so far.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's
right.
Not bad at all. But the one thing that I consistently have a complaint on in this book is the book feels too rushed. like not too rushed, but it's too short. The issues are too short. And part of that reason is because Tinian is really leaning on Hickson to like use his art to set the tone for what we're doing here. There are a lot of moments, especially in this issue, where facial expressions are really setting the tone. And so, in one way, it's wild how fucking creepy this issue is. It might be the creepiest yet. But as a comics reader, or at least my style of comics reading, I see it, I interpret it, I move on. So like when there's an entire page of no words, I'm not just going, but I'm still going to go through it very quick. And because this issue had so much of that tone setting, it read so fast. I didn't feel like I got an issue's worth. However, what I did get, I really liked. I really only wrote one line on, or two lines, but the first line of my review is, this issue is all about the vibes, and the vibes are fucked. Because we are starting to see a lot more about Michael than we knew before. So we're also coming back from a little bit of a hiatus, 2-month hiatus. So the end of Q4, I don't know if you remember, but that's when the detective is in his boyfriend, or in their apartment with his boyfriend, and he's asking if he can look around. And the boyfriend's kind of like, I don't know, man. And he just opens a closet without asking, and boom, there's like bloody Christmas stuff everywhere. And we're thinking like, oh shit, like maybe Michael is this weird fucked up dude. And then we get this really weird flashback from when Michael's a kid, and he's riding his bike with a friend. His friend comes over to his house and is like, hey, let me show you something. I want to show you something I found on the internet. And they're both kind of acting weird, but like they want to look at it, and they're kind of hesitant. And it's the nude images of the children that guy who got blamed for murders took of them.
Yeah.
Michael's kind of like, I don't want to look at this. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh no, you're into it, so you're gonna like this. And so he pulls up like a straight up gay pornographic website, and it's like a very awkward moment between them. And like you can see Michael's kind of like, is he using this as a cue to like tell me something? He's not really sure like what's going on. I don't know. It's just like the looks that they give each other, just like really strong. I think maybe I felt uncomfortable because children.
Yeah.
But I think that's the whole point. Is like Michael is going through this really weird, fucked up change. Not, the weird elements. So they go to the house. They decide, all right, you know what, fuck it, we're going to the house. Like, we're gonna go see what's going on. And the other kid, who's at this point being the driving force of them doing weird stuff, like making the situation weird, being pushy, being like, I'm gonna do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. They get to the house, and that kid's like, man, actually, I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't think I want to go. Michael's like, nah, like, we're going in. It's like, no, I don't know. And then they go to the back, see us. That kid's like, oh, look, it's boarded shut. We can't get in. Michael pulls out a fucking hammer and is like, nah, I'm in there. And he rips it off. They go inside, and the place is trashed. There's like graffiti everywhere.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, it's pretty nice in here. Like, obviously you remove crap, but like, it's really nice in here. The other kid's like freaking out. He's like, why are we in here? Like, we shouldn't be in here. We're gonna get in trouble. Like, let's not. And Michael goes up to him and he's like, hold on. I just want to show you something before we go. The kid's like, wait, did you bring something else with you? And Michael digs into his backpack and he literally pulls out a Santa Claus hat and lifts up and drapes it on the kid's head. And the kid is like literally shivering, shaking, and he's like, I just want to go. And then Michael pulls out Christmas lights and starts wrapping.
Okay. I'd like to go to sleep tonight. Like, you're fucking.
This is a child. Like, this is like they're like 10.
Yeah.
And he starts wrapping these Christmas lights around the kid like the bodies. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy who's doing, says he wants to do a documentary or a documentation style comic about his life and we always thought he was a little too close to it, but no, this dude might really be the new killer. Like he's pretty fucked. Anyway, so I don't even know if it was right for me to say this is the worst issue because it read very quickly, but goddamn, was it fucking creepy.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally good. Joe asks, US, the release order bad or what? This started at Halloween, I think. And then said hopefully the trade will be out before Christmas. Just finished looking over the May solicitations, Holden says, and I see a lot of exciting new horror on the horizon. New House by the Sea from Tinian. Fuck yeah. Hello Darkness, Anthology. I can't say that. Epitaphs from the Abyss. All auto subscriptions for me. Interesting. Well, yeah, definitely. Ice House by the Sea will be definitely on there for sure.
First issue of this came out November 15th. So we went November, December, January, February, March, and
jeez, right on.
Yeah,
all right.
I think it's gonna be finishing up right around Christmas.
Okay, all right. Well, next up from Image, we have Energon Universe 2024 special. So this was basically free comic book day, but you could buy it, and I bought it because I love the cover. And did you read this?
Shop was out of it, and I didn't get any.
All right. Well, I'll get a free comic book day, so I'll give it to you. This is basically just setting up, what we're doing on in the Energon universe, whether it's G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, or Transformers. I dug it. I thought it was really cool. To see Optimus and Megatron actually fight, I thought was really neat. Just to see what we're setting up with Void. Like, we got a Hot Rod appearance. G.I. Joe is clearly, the lines of who's who is being redrawn. I mean, I clearly know, like, when you see a bad guy or not, and it seems like those lines are being blurred. So, overall, I thought it was fun. I'm full on the Energon universe. I'm here to stay. I will be reading all the books. No, I say that. I don't know. I'm not doing the Destro one. I might do Scarlet, but I don't think I'm doing Destro. But I'm having fun with it. I like it, and I'm really excited to see where we go because it feels familiar, but also we're doing new things, like especially with Transformers. I know that if I was a G.I. Joe fan, I'd say the same thing. But for Transformers, like, it feels familiar, but then we're also doing new things. Like Optimus has never worn Megatron's arm with his cannon on it. Like that's never been a thing, and that's fucking awesome. To see Hot Rod in the Void Rivals universe and trying to track down his friends through that aspect of the storyline, I think is really cool because I love Hot Rod. He was basically the new leader of the Autobots after the movie because Optimus dies, and so he had his whole run, and a lot of people didn't like that, but I love Hot Rod's one of the coolest Transformers, I think. So I'm definitely intrigued. I'm excited to see where we go with it. And this is kind of a nice little insight. I think the tone overall is just so much more. It's so much heavier than I was expecting, which I really dig. It's a little bit more. It's definitely much more mature than. And I think I think even though I said that's not something we're expecting, I think that's where Kirkman and the rest of the writers want to go, and I'm here for it. Yeah. So, all right. After that, we've got the One Hand issue number 4.
You're not on this series, right?
I'm not. I'm not on this series.
It's insane. Like, it's insane that you're not on it.
I know.
I cannot believe it. So I will go ahead and say the previous issue of the other book, which came out last week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't read, and I did read before I read this one, so I could catch up. Holy fucking shit! That was the best issue of the whole back and forth series yet, and it was so good. Wild, absolutely buck wild. Like, it's where we all finally start to see where the weird shit is falling into place. Like, the guy literally can walk through walls and create wormholes, but he can take people with him.
Shit.
And it's getting freaky. And so we see that, and then this is a response to that issue where at one point that guy, like we see that guy literally cut the body up. So the previous issue of this one hand, we see the guy who was accused of being the one-hand killer. It ends with him being chopped into pieces and left in a nice little pile in his hotel, his hospital. And people are like, how does someone come in here and fucking chop? We see it in the other one where he literally walks through the fucking wall, chops the motherfucker into pieces, piles him up nice and neat, and walks back through the wall. And he's literally in this weird wormhole on the other side of the wall when Ari, the detective, walks in and is like, I know you're still in here. He's literally on the other side of the wall. They're having a conversation. It's like, yeah. He's like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, I'm an archaeologist. Like, you know, he's having this almost like brain, like he's not in control of the killer guy. But of course, because Ari is doing all this stuff when he's not supposed to, now the police actually think he's the motherfucker that's killing him. He thinks he's the one that killed this guy. And so now he's on the run, and he's got to figure out what all's going on here. This issue actually focuses a lot on Helen, who is the second name of the Anemone, the girl.
The AI
thing that he was obsessed with, and they have a meeting. Talking, and she's like doing that weird hints where she's basically talk about Anemone as another person, but almost like she knows it used to be her. And she's like, you know, if she had known that you were looking for her, like she'd be really happy about that, and that you still remember her, because what does it mean to be alive except for people knowing who you are and remembering you? And if you're not remembered, were you ever really alive? God damn it, that makes it weird.
You're reading some fucking heavy ass books, man. Like I just can't.
I read this shit and then I get to Deadpool and they're like, poopy pow,
poopy poop poop.
My
yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not doing it for me.
That's not my jam. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so there's that super heady stuff. She walks away. Ari the detective finds out where the murderer dude is living and goes to his apartment, and the art lady who was tagging along with him is there, and she's like, yeah, he's gone again. And they have this like super in-depth talk about trying to figure out like what's going on, and she's going all philosophical, but she says something that I was just, she's like, what is real? Like, I don't even feel like I know what real is anymore. I just watched him, did them with him.
Yeah.
She said my whole understanding of the fabric of reality is like not making sense. I don't understand.
Oh Jesus.
And she's starting to like drop hints of what maybe these cogs, maybe these AI are like, maybe there's more going on to them than you think. Maybe there's like some cognition there, like some actual like real. Maybe they are humans. Maybe they are real. Maybe they are living something. And she says, I wonder now if we live in a place made real only by our desire to persist as we do. Like we don't really exist any further than the desire to exist. Like once we kind of give up the hoax, give up the dream, reality, it's going to cease to exist because it's not actually true. And I'm just sitting here with this comic going like,
hey, yeah, it's
asking for an existential crisis.
That's
man, this series is just so good, so good.
That's awesome, man.
It ends. How does it end? I feel like it ended. It ends when the art lady is like, I don't know where he is, but I know who he's going to see. She says something. Some girl named Helen, and it's the lady that he's talking to all the time. And so now he's going to her apartment to go find her, and he looks up at the building. There's only one light on. It's her light, of course, and you can see her standing there. But as you see the windows, they start becoming those symbols.
Fuck. Ruh-roh.
But I'm having a good time getting there.
Oh boy. Joe says, Jim, you excited for the new Transformers cartoon coming out with Young Prime and Megatron? I am. I showed my sons that trailer and they lost their fucking shit. And I was like, this is gonna be awesome. So I'm actually very excited for it. I wasn't too sure how Chris Hemsworth was going to do being Optimus, but he's definitely, I mean, from what I've heard and seen, it sounds pretty cool. So we'll see. All right, next up, Sacrificers.
So I don't have a ton to tell you about here, not because it wasn't good, more of the same.
Yeah.
In this issue, we really take, the whole theme for this really has been just like Rick Remender's other book, which is just like a really harsh critique of religion, especially the evangelical Christian religion that is being kind of prominent in American politics right now.
Right.
And we basically see Pigeon, like he's out now, like right, he broke out. He's got these. I got to go see if my family's still alive, because a couple issues ago they had that massive. The moon lady, the moon mom, killed herself, and then the seas came and started wiping out cities and stuff. And so
I see it. I don't remember, so like you're talking and I'm just like, dude, did I smoke some weed? Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, Moon Mom killed herself.
Moon Mom.
So yeah, our main character, or not really our main character, that girl who's like her dad is the king, her mom's the moon.
Right.
Anyway, she kills herself, and then the tides come in, and they wipe out a city. And so Pigeon's like, I gotta go see my family. He gets to fucking obliterated. Oh, not my little sister. By the way, I don't know if it was ever mentioned, but the dude's name is Pigeon
because he's what?
Born. His name's Pigeon.
Yeah.
Because he is a pigeon.
Okay.
Not because he doesn't have a name. He was born to be
Just
a sacrifice. They
Gotcha.
never gave him a name. I was like, yo, that's fucked.
Jesus Christ.
He goes to the city, and that's where the whale people. That's where they live, and he's like, "What the fuck? You're a sacrifice. This happened because of you." And he's like, "The only way you can make it right is if you let me sacrifice you now." And Vision's like, "Man, I guess I fucking don't care anymore. Like my friend's dead, my family's dead, ever." And he literally like lays his head down on the chopping block, and the guy's about to chop his head off, and the Vision's like, grabs his axe. He's like, "No, actually, I'm not gonna let you do this, and I'm gonna stand up to the oppressor." Rips his. I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Oh my god.
And he's like, I'm not gonna. He's like, you're right. If death is what the gods need, then I'm gonna fucking kill all you guys. And so now it looks like he's going on this tirade against all the religious people.
Jesus Christ.
So there you go. Art was still as fantastic as ever. Pacing was great. It's just the same old, same old. Still rocking and rolling.
Same old, same old. Mm-hmm. Right on. All right, next up, we've got on Image slate, we have Transformers issue number 8 from Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona, and yeah, this is my pick of the week. Like this is it has to be. It was just good. Jorge Corona has just stepped up the game, has kept the consistency. The artwork is definitely it almost feels seamless. Like it is the closest thing I've seen to seamless when it comes to artwork between two artists. So I love that. We're definitely moving very quickly, and we're just moving towards this big conflict, obviously, between the Autobots and the Decepticons, which I'm digging. I am liking that there is still some activity on Cybertron, and that we're hinting at other potential allies or just players coming into the game. I like that. If there was any one critique I have of the book, is that it does feel like the pacing is a little turned up to 11. Like we are doing a shit ton in the amount of pages we have every issue. And I think it's because we're just trying to set up this really big, grandiose plot within the Transformers, and I do enjoy that. But if there was any form of a criticism, it would be that, and it's very minute in that sense. But the brutality of this issue I thought was great. Yeah, like just no holds barred, just kicking ass. And
that poor guy that was like literally like, I was dead and enjoying peace, and you fucking back. The hell? I was
yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Well, he did it. The chick on Cybertron trying to resurrect her friend, and he's like, just fucking kill me, and she's like, no, but if if it comes down to it, yes, I'll take us both out. Like I was just like, damn, dude. And then like Soundwave just being a fucking heartless bastard, just killing anyone and everyone in their way. Like I don't know. I just thought it was a great issue. I thought it was really fun, and I'm really excited for Transformers. Like, super excited for Transformers and also for the Energon universe, right, Stefan? Like the Energon universe is running wild. It is insane. And then to see Soundwave make contact with Shockwave, who we see at the end, you know, that guy's a pretty brutal. I feel like he's more brutal than Astro Train, who they resurrect or who's stuck in the ship. Like I remember him, but I don't remember him being this like fucking tank, you know? Like I just remember him being the transport. So, you know, I like it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if I'm going fast. I just, you know, it just is what it is. But this issue was a lot of fun, and I am my only concern, and it's just more of one of just like, please don't take my baby away from me, is that I really hope Daniel Warren Johnson stays on as the writer as long as possible. Because I just feel like he has
Corona stay on the art.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah, right, and then switch off. You know, come back. You know, Johnson come back when he wants to. Yeah, it's just because I've got that fear of like, you know, that's what comics does right now. The comic book industry, that's just what they do. So I just really can't do it. Can he lower his mic down so we can hear better? Are you talking about Nate's?
How about this?
That's good.
My thing isn't working on so I have to like lean it, but I will do this.
Okay. There are moments where you kind of cut in and out. It's kind of weird. But yeah, Transformers has been great. I am. It's right there with like, if it's like, what's gonna suck is when Transformers is on the same week as She-Hulk. Like I'm royally fucked.
How do you choose?
Right. Well, I mean, I pick both. Like that's just what it's gonna be, and I know that's unfair, but that's just the way it's gonna be. So, but anyway,
it's so funny you say that. May
22nd, they're on the same.
Oh no, wait, sorry, that's Void Rivals. It just has a Transform.
Yeah, no. So we're okay there. It's gotta be She-Hulk, but and also, have we figured like, have we gotten any confirmation that we're going past, like if we're getting it? Like I'm worried. I'm starting to get worried that we're not getting a She-Hulk. Like it's ending at 10.
Let's see if we've got some.
I know we're straying.
We are not solicited past 10 yet.
But 10 would be what? 10 is in.
10 is in July 31st.
Have we gotten August solicitations yet? Okay, so we don't know yet. Okay. God, please no.
I mean, I agree, but the solicitation does slightly sound like a.
It feels like we're getting ready to say.
It says, "What is the fate of She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts?"
Why
this issue will define the future.
Your mic keeps on cutting out. I don't get it. It's weird. Like you're talking. I don't know what's going on. What's with She-Hulk released the same? What with the same times? No, it better not. I just don't want it to. Like it better not. All right, let's keep moving. The Devil That Wears Your Face, or wears my face, from David Papose.
It's gonna wear your face.
Pushing it.
Oh yeah.
So before you do your review, just want to give a heads up. David Papose is a badass, and we didn't review last week because we didn't have a show. But his Space Ghost book was my pick of the week last week. Dude hooked us up, and we are now officially on his email list. It's fucking awesome. He's becoming a very good friend of the show now, and I just want to say that because it's very encouraging. I love the fact that we've got, you know, actual writers and artists watching our show now. I think that's a goal of ours, is to connect with the community, with creators as well. So just shout out to David because he's awesome, and he thanked us for featuring his comic, and like, of course, like, we love your work. So anyway,
yeah, I mean, for the longest time I had a best horror comic
writer. Yeah.
No, horror comic, like volume. It was The Autumnal.
Right.
It was Tate Bromdell and Chris Sheehan. And yeah, I think The Devil Wears My Face is gonna take that over. And it wouldn't have been that way except for I believe it was John that was reading this with me. this issue, just everything that we've done in this series, we do here like up to 11. Like it's just insane. At one point, we are seeing it's like the second or third page, and we see the demon, who's of course now the Pope, standing or sitting on a throne of piled headless bodies with their organs ripped out.
Okay.
And those organs have been used to string bodies from the ceiling. But these bodies are also headless and had their also their skin removed too.
Just gonna put my.
I wish I could show you the image, but one, I don't know how I could, but two, I genuinely think YouTube would be like, you're done. You're absolutely done. But like the violence and the viciousness, it's just turned up to 11, and fantastic. The letterer, like, I don't think we give letterers enough credit. Sometimes just because they do such a kick-ass job, but that means just blending in with the art. Whereas this time, like, they use the letterer uses a very specific font and a black word bubble that really emphasizes when the demon is out. I thought that was great. We get a lot of the what I would say are more like classic, like demonic horror elements. Like we see one of the guys, so his like back is all snapping in his spine and his bones. I think at one point his like larynx or whatever like comes out of his bent backwards so bad.
I want to go to sleep today, Nate. Come on, man.
And they're battling back and forth. The Spanish woman that's been helping him out is now she gets him this sword. They're fighting. At one point, the demon dude sends like thousands upon thousands of like demonic and possessed rats after the dude. It gets pretty wild. But the one thing that we've talked about, or that has been talked about very that our main character has not been he's like an outsider. He was taken from his mother and told that he was, going to be raised in the correct way, and he's always felt like an outsider, and he never felt a believer. All these things. That's why the devil was able to maintain control, because he wasn't an actual believer. And it turns out it's because the dude was Jewish and was being forced to be a Christian the whole time. And when he finally comes to this epiphany and learns about his heritage, he is able to use his faith in that correct religion for him to fight against this demon. And not only is he able to do that, but of course he's inhabiting that other originally in. That guy is able to use his Christian faith, and they double and like cast
Kamehameha. Hiya!
Now I will say that part was a little goofy, but I really don't know how you wrap this up without it being. I think that the theme of the story of it all works really well. Be true to yourself, right?
Right.
Also, like, maybe we shouldn't kidnap motherfuckers and indoctrinate them into our culture. I think that's a very clear and very good message.
Right.
It was delivered a little goofy, a little cheesy, but it was a really good ending. As far as like the characters are concerned, it's to be back in his body. This thing. The Spanish dude is saved, and he's back. Take his wife and go back to Spain. Now, of course, the fucking Vatican is left in ruins with literally hundreds of dead cardinals. The dead Pope. It's just like left in ruins, like on. But I don't know. Like the horror aspect of this was just like 11 out of 10. So good, so creepy, so disgusting.
I'm so happy for you.
Really cannot wait for you to read this issue.
I'm never gonna read it. Like the best thing that's come out of this series is me being able to say demon possessed conquistador. Like that's the only thing. Because I just don't like horror. I just don't. But I know you love it, so
yes.
That is what it is. All right, let's jump over to Marvel really quick. Avengers issue number 14 from McKay and Via. Yo, this was very close to being my pick of the week, and the reason why is because I just think McKay is just on another level when it comes to writing anyone in the MCU. The dude can literally write anybody. And I think that shines really well in this issue. You've got a group of, outside of Captain America, who is like a mainstay Avenger. Not that any of these characters they've been Avengers before. But I'm just saying, like, when I read this, I was incredibly surprised at how well McKay wrote these characters, whether it was Hercules, Hazmat, Hawkeye, or Quicksilver. Like, I was impressed. And then on top of that, we're dealing with vampires. Wait, no, Nazi vampires. And I'm just like, this is fucking crazy. I hate vampires. I don't like vampires in my comics. And I am just, Blood Hunt for me is fucking doing it for me. And it's because it's McKay. And that, I think, speaks volumes into the fact that we are about to get an X-Men McKay book. And I am so excited for that. And the only reason why I'm excited for that now even more is because of this whole Blood Hunt, Avengers, Moon Knight shit, even Doctor Strange. I picked up the Doctor Strange Blood Hunt book because Mike was like, hey, you should probably pick it up and read it. I was like, okay. And we find out, we get a little bit more insight into, spoilers, Doctor Strange's death. And because you've read Blood Hunt, right? The first one? Yeah. So you know what happened to him. He got smashed. He got sliced in half. Well, rephrase. In the nice version, he got stabbed.
Oh, I didn't get to read the bad version. Red Band version.
Bro gets cut in half by Blade. Just like, not like, ha, like, slap. And he's like, whoa, like his guts are.
Of course. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, dude. So I had to read the Doctor Strange, and like I was like, oh shit, this is actually really good. So yeah, McKay, for all intents and purposes, is the fucking man at Marvel. He is the Joshua Williamson of Marvel, but he's doing it better. And I don't know. I liked this issue as much as, like, yeah, Cap was obviously cheesy and like oh, you know, like that's Cap, right? Like. But McKay, I thought, did a great job. I think the standout character for me was Hercules. Like, I really enjoyed Hercules in this issue. So I don't know. This was very close to being my pick of the week. I thought the artwork was fantastic. I thought the pacing of the book was great. And like, as cheesy as it is to have Nazi vampires, like, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm totally here for it. Yeah,
I'm here.
It's the one thing you can get OG Cap involved with, and I'm like, he needs to be here.
Yeah. So I am full on. Like, this was great. I loved it. This is one of the standout Marvel issues this week because everything else was kind of.
Holden, I will have to do that for you next week. The 2 weeks or 3 weeks that I wasn't on the show, I had no life and could not do anything. And I've got a backlog of 24 comic books for the past 3 weeks that I need to read. But I promise you, Spectrograph is on the very top of that list, and we can talk about it next week because how are we not talking Tinian horror, right?
Right. Totally. All right, moving on. We Captain Marvel issue number 8. I don't really have a lot to say about this book. Outside of we know now that it is being canceled, and I'm unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Like this, it's not bad, but it's not good. Like there's there's nothing going on. Like there's this event that has this high stake, but like it doesn't feel. I don't know what's going on, and we're 8 issues in, and the story feels very like all over the place. And what's up, Tyler? I just think I think the reason why this iteration of Captain Marvel isn't hitting it, at least for me, is it's not the previous one. You know, the previous.
I mean, yeah.
Like, and I think we can say that about this book and the book that's about to come up next that we're about to talk about. Like, I think the previous runs were just so damn good that these books, in my opinion, and again, I'm not trying to shit talk it, but in my opinion, they just don't live up to those those runs were just fantastic. And I think in the what should unfortunately or not unfortunately, I think what should happen is, because this is happening to Captain Marvel and it's happening to the next book that we're going to talk about, I think the better idea would have been to just put the book on hiatus, put the character on hiatus, let that run that we had previously, you know, die down a little bit, let us forget about it for a little bit, and then come back, you know. And who knows, like, if we had waited, you know, 6 months to a year for a Captain Marvel book, maybe this thing would have read differently. I don't know, but like, it just doesn't feel. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, they were. I don't know. They were such good runs. Which again, this is not a knock on those creators, because like one of those issues or one of those books was Alyssa Wong's
Deadpool, right?
So it has nothing to do with them. But damn, you know, the thing that really bothers me, took me frustrated to like, no, I'm done, is literally this book has some of my all-time favorite characters. Lori, fucking Genisfell. We get Rick Jones in here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, Teddy and Phyla-Vell. Like, we get there's so many of the characters I enjoy here, and none of them are being written well at all, and they're being hardly utilized, and they're being turned into mush and babies. And I'm like, no. That's the disrespect here is not going to happen.
This is what they're being used for. What? Like that one-liners. That's all it is. And I don't know. And I'm trying. I am not. This is not at all a criticism towards Alyssa Wong. Like, I fucking love her writing, but this iteration of Captain Marvel is just not hitting it for me. Like, I don't. As much gravitas and emphasis we're putting on this new villain that we're here's on the cover, like, and clearly she's a fucking force to be reckoned with. Like, they're not putting a dent into her, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, she's so badass that Captain Marvel has to resort to literally fusing herself inside of her and probably blowing her up from the inside out. Like, that's my guess is what we're about to do. She's going to overload her with energy to the point where she just blows up. But again, it's just like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, she's doing much better work over on Avengers right now than she is on her own title. So, sorry. All right. Next up, we have Daredevil issue number 9. You know, I am liking this. You know, the one thing I will say is the book. What was the end? I don't remember what the hook was at the end. Oh, the kid found. It's right. Basically Matt Murdock's identity is becoming unraveled/raveled back up. Like, he's stepping into his footsteps, right? Like, it's basically what we're doing is he's becoming Matt again. He's becoming the Daredevil again, and people in and outside of his life are starting to figure that out, especially the kids that he's orphaning. Like, that's the big hook.
I mean, at this point, is he really doing it?
No, he's just kind of playing pretend. I liked the issue. I thought it was fun. I know that you hadn't read the previous issue, so when you read this, you were a bit confused.
I only got a few pages in and then said, you know what, I need.
The only thing I will say is, like, please do not write off Elektra. Like, please keep her as a Daredevil, because it kind of feels like we're doing that. Like once he gets back to being himself, like, oh, okay, I'm no longer going to be Daredevil. Like, I hope and pray that that is not the case, that we are, you know, so. But overall, I liked the issue. Kingpin's getting involved again. We'll see if it's a deadly sin or if he's really, you know, character reset back into the Hell's Kitchen. I'm the Kingpin. Time will tell. That may be a make or break for me, if I'm being honest, because I kind of liked where he was at. But with Krakoa ending, like, you really can't, you know, I guess you can't. Any character that's involved with Krakoa and the X-Men, I assume, is going to get a hard reset, you know, so I guess it kind of makes sense that the Kingpin is kind of coming back into Hell's Kitchen and reclaiming. But we'll see, because even Matt's like, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. Like, this is so below the Kingpin. Like, why would he be involved in Hell's Kitchen at this kind of level? So we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I liked it. I'm enjoying it. I'm still not picking up Romita Jr. covers. I never will. I hate them. They're awful. Awful. All right, really quick Deadpool. Like Nate said earlier, Alyssa Wong's Deadpool run was just so fantastic, and I feel like we jumped on the Deadpool train way too fast, and it's obvious that we have to have a Deadpool book out because, hey, in July or June, whenever, we're having a Deadpool movie, so we need to make sure that we have a book out there. But like, this isn't it. This ain't it. Like, I don't see Deadpool in this book. I do not see a character that I am familiar with in this book. It doesn't, like, there are moments when there is, but again, I think this book is struggling with the idea of, I've got so much to say, so I'm just going to put everything on the page, and at that point it gets, and again, I sound so cringe, but there, there's a right way and a wrong way to do like respectable dialogue, and I just feel like there's just vomit, like word vomit on this book, where I'm like, there are just so many voices, and particularly I feel like Deadpool is like acting. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, he just doesn't seem like himself in this book.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And then the hook at the end, like, Crossbones got hired to take him out. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just...
that's who that was. I was like, I can't remember who this...
Yeah, it just wasn't... I was lost about 50% of the time in the book, and then when we finally started getting some actual pacing, like, he shows up, and I'm like... What? Where's that new villain that we set up in issue 1? And oh, yeah. And then I prefaced it at New Comic Book Day, but, like, you said, like, Ziegler was saying that, don't worry, I've got a master plan. The characters that were established in the previous run will make an appearance. And I'm like, I don't see it. Like you got to do it quick, because right now, like, as of this live show, I don't think I'm picking up issue 3. I think I'm out, and then I'm gonna let chat go like, bro, you fucked up. Like, I'm kind of out.
I'm kind of curious too. Like, if it's like a really it comes out on a week that I have 16 books, so I'll not be read.
Yeah. I might like flip through it at the shop, but I think I'm done with Deadpool. So, sorry, guys. I mean, I got to get ready for, like, I know this is gonna make, like, I'm gonna hear your eye roll, but I truly have to get ready for X-Men. I am so desperate for this new direction, and I'm like, I am buying in. I am smoking the ganja. I am whatever it is. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Every time I get a new ad for something new like that, like, oh, it's September, oh, in August, and I'm like, all right, here it is. I'm getting a new short box, and I'm getting all the X-Men books. Like, there was one for, I believe it was it X Factor? I think it's X Factor that's coming out, where they basically gave us a little bit of a hint of what the storyline is with mutants, and there is definite fraction. There are definite factions of mutants. You've got your main faction. You've got, probably some outsiders. You've got some that are working for the government now, which is the X Factor team. Like, I am intrigued. Will I be reading Wolverine? Probably not. But like, right.
Capuccio from Thor.
But like, and I know we're talking about X-Men, but like, I'm actually getting excited for it. Like, it's making me now. Again, the only real big reason why I'm excited for X-Men is because we've got McKay at the helm, and I have to pray and hope that he is going to have what's somewhat of a stronger grip on the X office. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe that'll be his Trojan horse.
But is he going to be in a leadership?
Who knows? I don't know. Probably not. Like, I I probably need to get that narrative out of my head immediately. Anyway, Deadpool sucked. Okay. X-Men. Forever. Again, this Forever book. Jesus Christ, man. Swing! Like, just every time. X-Men Forever. Again, this is just kind of filling in the gaps, getting us really ready for the end, and just kind of tying up loose ends, potentially opening up new ones that maybe, you know, we see in the new run. Who knows? But, you know, we're just filling in the spots that we're not getting in the main book. This is basically like a 2.5 of Rise, I believe, whichever one Gillen's writing. It's just the 2.5. But it's effective, right? Like, I've been a part of a Marvel book where it's a 2.5 and it sucks. And I'm talking about Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run whenever we got 2.5s, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. This, in my opinion, is noteworthy. It's informative, and I like that. You know, kind of understanding what we're doing, and you know what we're establishing is Hope Summers is still in the white hot place, and she's literally, or white hot room, and she is literally hunting the Phoenix, because the Phoenix is actually scared of this enigma that is Sinister. Like, it has some trepidation towards it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, the Phoenix Force isn't just like riding in and going, hey, I'm saving the day. Like, there has to be some work that goes into it. So we're seeing that here. We also get a little bit more dynamic between Nightcrawler and Raven and Destiny, and, you know, getting an idea of why, you know, just the power dynamic between their relationship. We find out that Destiny made Xavier basically make her not love Nightcrawler because
we're getting apologetics here.
Well, I guess I am not versed in it enough to be like, oh, this is stupid or this is retconning. Okay,
it's definitely retconning.
Okay, but it is very nice to see Raven be like, you stupid bitch, Destiny. Like, who cares if I die? I still love you, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, and even Kurt is just like, the fuck, man. Like, yeah, you can see the future, but it's clear that we're able to manipulate it. You know, like that. Like, that's this whole thing that we're doing right now. You know, so that was neat. And then we have the Enigma taking human form, a Sinister form, going back in time because he can't get into the white hot room and stop Hope from getting the Phoenix Force. So he's taking it into his own hands, and he's going back in time to potentially not make Hope Summers real. Will it work? No, I don't.
I'm so fucking done.
Right.
Not.
It's I don't think it will, because like obviously we're ending it. We know that we're getting the Phoenix, like, so it's more of like, how bad is the Enigma going to fail? And I'm kind of here for it, because I think the Enigma itself as a story mechanic is incredibly lazy. So I want to see it fall flat on its face. Like, I want it, like, that's all we have, right? Because we know Krakoa is going to end, right? So someone has to eat it hard. And obviously Xavier is a piece of shit, and he's working for Orcus, even though like that seems to be the plan all along, and some mutants are kind of in on it. But if there's going to be someone that's just going to royally just eat it, it's going to be the Enigma, and I'm here for that. So we'll see. But overall, this issue it's fine. It's just filling in the gaps, and I'm here for it, because there are questions, and I'm getting those answers in this book. So that's it. God. All right, let's talk about Batman 147 from Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez.
Let's do it. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
No, you go ahead first. I feel like I'm going to say something stupid. So you start.
No,
I want to.
I'm not going to say anything stupid.
Okay, well then here, let me just say this.
Please. Oh God.
AI snack bin. You got your snack bucket. AI.
I mean, literally.
AI Batman badass. I think the storyline with him, and him basically creating a robot army with other versions of the Psycho Batman from other multiverses is really fucking cool. Him creating his own Robin so that he can rely on that Robin, badass. I, like I said on New Comic Book Day, could give two shits about Amanda Waller and what she's up to. And I know we're setting up this giant, massive summer event with Amanda Waller, and I like the attitude that the android Batman gives Amanda Waller. Basically says like, I don't give a fuck about you, fuck off. That's how I feel about that entire storyline that we're about to get in DC Comics.
Yeah.
I feel like, I almost feel like Chip Zdarsky was writing that and going like, this is stupid, so I'm going to tell her off in my book. Like the robot Batman basically told Amanda Waller to go fuck herself. Like, get the fuck away from me. I'm sorry, I'm dropping a lot of F-bombs, but that's how, like, I want to desperately get back into the good graces of DC, and we are just spiraling downward again with these events that take over books that I know have no weight, have no consequence, and will be a footnote literally in a future book after the event's over. And it's because we mentioned, you know, Batman's like Robin's like, hey, Batman, why do you have Amanda Waller's right eyeball in your cave? Oh, well, go read what's the name of the event?
Ultimate Power or Absolute Power?
Go read all of the Absolute Power tie-ins and an issue. Like, okay, right? Because that, if there's one thing DC does, I feel like we're always ranting at the end of the show when we get to DC. But I just feel like that is the state of DC right now. And I know that there are a lot of our viewers that completely disagree, and I 100% value, and I'm not trying to discredit your opinion. No, I do. But no, but for me personally, I feel like DC and Marvel to an extent, but DC more is in a really weird spot with their comics at the moment, where they can't tell a complete story because they have to have some event every other quarter, every 6 months there has to be an event, and it doesn't matter what the consequences are and what they do in those things, because it's not going to matter in a month. And I feel like this Amanda Waller Absolute Power arc is, I think it's dumb. I honestly and truly believe after Death Metal, like the DC just lost direction. And it was literally because what they established at the end of Death Metal, they literally wiped it away with a soft reset. And what was it? I don't even remember. There have been so many. It was supposed to be 5G, but then it was.
Okay, no, listen. Now you keep doing that.
What was it though? What was it?
I don't remember what it's called. But we did that little soft reboot, and then it was kind of weird. But then things got really good.
They got really good. Then what happened? Oh yeah, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth happened.
Okay, that's what I was thinking you were saying. After that, it messed up, but not after Death Metal. The stuff in between Death Metal and Dark Crisis.
It was, but it wasn't, because, like, remember, Wonder Woman fixed everything, and then an issue later. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, she fixed everything. She became one of these, like, omniversal gods that watched everything, and then the next issue was like, nah, I'm good, and she walked away, and they wiped everything that they did in that book, which was epic. And then we got we got some cool things, and we got into Nightwing, and we were doing some cool shit, right? But then we did, Joshua Williamson came in and did. I'm not talking about Batman though. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut up. I'm just frustrated, dude. Like, because we got into DC at this like really cool time where like all these different writers were writing these just like insanely awesome takes on these characters, and everything felt cohesive. And now we don't have a Justice League. Supposedly the Titans are these like, they're just important, and they're the next group to take over of everything, and all I see is nothing from them. I don't even in their own book, I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? And so like I'd say 75% of this book was awesome. And when Chip basically wrote the AI, wrote Batman to tell Waller to go away, I was like, that's it. Like that's agreed. I agree. Yeah. Jorge Jimenez is awesome. Like that's like he's so good. And Chip Zdarsky's good too. I thought the dialogue in the book was great. I liked the AI robot like realizing that he wasn't going to be able to utilize Damien, and he knew that he was going to have to fucking off him at one point because he was going to get it and realize that it's not his dad, you know? Like that was cool. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Sorry, I went on a very long rant.
All good. It's our show. We do what we want.
Sure.
I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I just like, yeah, like it's good. I enjoyed it. Fucking art was fantastic. I didn't care for the Lawler part, but I really just skipped it. I was and I didn't care. Like the second that page was turned, I forgot she existed. Look,
Right.
I'm really glad that fucking dumbass son of his figured out that it's not his fucking fault. How stupid is Damien? I hate him.
In this book, he's dumb.
He's dumb in all the books. I can't stand him.
In his other book, he's fine. He's cool. He's cool. We like him in that book.
You're just a Williamson apologist.
Shut up, because we don't like Batman in that book because it's not Batman.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Birds of Prey, issue number 9. I think I'm dropping this book.
Okay, that's dramatic. That's very dramatic.
I think I'm dropping the book. I
think you need to, on this book, just once, just listen to me and don't drop the book when you're like need to drop it.
All right,
it's
why
like tiny little lull,
so why should I not drop the book?
Because it's Kelly Thompson and she just fucking deuced out a 50 issue like best run of Captain Marvel. Like, let her cook. Chill out. It is 8 issues, 9 issues.
Fine.
And you loved the first 6.
Yes, and this arc is not doing it for me.
It's one arc,
which sucks though, because like I like Babs. I like Babs, and I feel like she's just being flung around like a rag doll. And like I get that's the point, but like the one thing I did like about the issue was when they realized it wasn't Babs and she turned into a giant bat. I was like, that's cool. But when it ended, I was like, what? Wait, what's going on? Like that's where I'm. Like the time traveler chick. Like I'm like, okay, like what do we
Meridian? Yeah, I mean she's been involved the whole time.
I know, but it just feels like it feels splintered. Like I felt like we had a little
splintered.
I feel like the previous issue, the previous arc, there were moments in that arc within like specific pages where there was a bit of splintering, but overall the cohesiveness of the first arc was solid. And in this one, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Like I'm still very lost. Cause like I just don't like I don't know who's I don't know who's the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like usually there's a shadowy figure that's like, okay, this is it, right? Like this is the thing. And for me, it's just like, don't let Babs go outside. And then she went outside and now we got to find her. And I don't know, like it just feels this arc to me feels like it should have been a two book arc and then we jump into the next one rather than like we're stretching it out to like however many pages. Like that's what it feels. If I had to be honest with it. There you go. Fine. I won't drop it, okay?
Okay. Good. I'm glad I saved a life here.
Saved a life. Give me a break. All right. You got anything to say?
No, I mean, I think you covered most of it again. It does. Your critique of this issue is valid. I don't want to just throw it all away.
Like, even the characters were like, what the fuck's going on? Like, when they jumped through the portal and they were in different costumes, they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, wait, what? Like, even the characters were looking at you going like, do you get what's going on here? Because we don't either, you know? Like, this issue was incredibly confusing to me. Like, it just... And then there was a lot of word dump. Like, there was a lot of word dump. Like, it was dumpy. Just saying. There were bits where it was a bit dumpy. Like, you can admit that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 100% can admit that.
Okay.
The character design, Maddie, that was like when it was in Babs's looked like Babs, but it was all like, "Bah."
Yeah.
I love that shit.
No, that was cool.
That was great.
No, and I just said that like that I loved that part, but then it went away, and it's like, what are we? Chat, am I crazy? Let me know. Like, I'm sure I am. Tell him he sucks. Tell him he's crazy. All right, that's gonna do it for this week's comic book day. Let us know. Obviously, let us know what you guys picked up, what you read, what was your patois. I know some people let us know. We got another new comic book day coming up this Wednesday, and there are a couple books that I'm kind of like, okay, it's a little bit lighter. It's a lighter week for me. I know that. I think let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 books that I have, and at first glance, I'm kind of like, that's kind of a meh week. But then I see, Nephilim or Napalm Lullaby, like hell yeah. Got Ultimate X-Men, like, okay, and then we've got Doom #1 from Jonathan Hickman, and I'm kind of like, oh shit. So be prepared for a new comic book day where we talk about all these books and a lot more. I'm sure you've got some independents on there as well, just kind of sprinkled in.
3 that you don't have.
I don't even have any independents next week.
2 of them are Mad Cave books. Look at Mad Cave coming up.
Damn, that's cool. But anyway, we'll catch you guys this Tuesday where we'll talk about our new comics. Oh shit, we didn't even talk. You know why we didn't talk about X-Men 97? I didn't get to see the episode. I didn't watch it. Did you?
I didn't either.
Yeah, I know what happened, and I know it's pretty fucking crazy, but I need to watch it.
I don't know what happened.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, I will say this. All the talk and hype that I've seen about X-Men 97 has been wonderful. It's very evident that we are doing our homework and we're looking at the source material and doing our thing, and I think that's great. And I think that is something that a lot of Marvel fans, specifically MCU fans, have been desperate for, and X-Men 97 is doing the thing. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we'll catch you guys this Tuesday for New Comic Book Day, and then we'll catch you guys live here again, where we'll get to see Nate's awesome setup, and we will talk about all those books and more, and just hang out and have a good time. For some reason, what?
Sorry, my girlfriend's watching the show and is now apologizing to watch X-Men.
Oh, she's apologizing?
Yeah, it was her fault. So.
Oh shit.
We were building her couch, so.
Misty, what are you doing?
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, all right, we'll catch you guys live this Tuesday and then Sunday. Thanks to everyone that was watching, and as always, fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.